Hi guys, welcome to Dividends Friday, and this week I'm going to talk about a delicious stock that gives out delicious dividends. Now before I begin, remember to subscribe to our channel, and thank you so much. Within I think 1 or 2 months, we have grown from 2,000 to 6,000 subscribers. So this is the story of the month. I have been embarking on this One Punch Man workout challenge for 30 days, and I mean now it's already almost the 60th day. I'll be doing another video on this. And this transformation, if you have not seen about it, go and take a look at our YouTube channel. It's one of the top trending videos right now. Now I'm showing off some of my transformation in my body. And a lot of the audiences are asking, was there any diet change? What was your diet during this period? What do you eat in a day? And do you watch your diet in these 30 days? So the truth is there were some diet changes. Number 1, I cut down on sugar. Number 2, carbohydrate. And number 3, fried food. I'll be explaining it in details in the next video. So you can learn how to become healthy as you really invest into good dividend stocks. I mean, you need to have good health to enjoy all these fruits that you've been investing, correct? So I'll be sharing with you what is it going to do with the company today. And it's a company selling food, and they are going into a healthy positioning to say that their company is providing healthy food. So I'll be talking more about this, and this company's name is called Fairwood Holdings. It is a company from Hong Kong, listed in Hong Kong. And let's take a look at what it does. So Fairwood Holdings, you can see right now, this is what sparks my interest. 5.18%. But are the financials healthy? Although it is delicious. Let's take a look at this. Now, first of all, what is this company doing? We got to understand what we are buying, correct? One thing I like to do is to search for Google images every time I look at a new company that I've not really heard before. So you can see pretty much they are a fast food restaurant chain. You can see the menu outside. We will zoom in on some of the menu. You will realize that they are not exactly super healthy. You can see this is a 大快活, which is the company itself. Now they also do fried food and stuff like that, but it's okay. The annual report, let's take a look. Now personally, I realized that this annual report is very easy to read. You can see this is one of their key things, the feel good movement. They never say it's really good, but I feel good. I shall not comment on their food, but really it looks quite delicious, correct? And they are going like the lesser salt kind of movement and positioning themselves as a healthy food. Will it work? Well, we can actually judge for ourselves in the next few years. We will look at the financials portion in their portion in a while, but we can see that in their Hong Kong presence, one thing that is they mentioned, it has been challenging. Their same-store sales growth rate was maintained at about 3%. You can see probably a bit saturated. And we look at the portion from mainland China is growing at 13%. This is very encouraging, like what they mentioned. One thing that I noticed, you can see that their presence still mainly in Hong Kong. They have opened up 15 stores in 2018, 14 in Hong Kong, and 1 in mainland China. I realized as I read their annual report, there isn't a very specific plans to grow in China. In fact, they say that they will be focusing on expanding their presence in Hong Kong market. So you can see that as they try to expand a certain restaurant, not all restaurants can be duplicable everywhere because it may be like localized taste. Some different states in China may not like the food that is provided in Hong Kong. This may be the issue. Going back into their financial reports, one thing that I personally feel may have potential is this. I have seen some of their competitors' analysis. Their competitors are like Hai Di Lao, Shabu Shabu, and Cafe Decoro. Cafe Decoro is a very strong business in Hong Kong. One thing that I noticed as I look at the more competitors' data is the market cap. 11 billion for Cafe Decoro is something similar to what they are doing, and right now Fairwood is 3 billion. It is about 30% or actually lesser, about 25% or somewhere around there of the size of Cafe Decoro. It is when you compare to let's say Hai Di Lao and Shabu Shabu, it is much lesser. So I feel that they have a potential to grow. The feeling comes from the data, of course. In terms of dividend yield, 5.18% as compared to the rest giving up to 4.17%. So financial wise, this Fairwood Holdings had captured my attention. Let's dive in a bit deeper. Fairwood Holdings revenue has been growing from 1.4 billion Hong Kong dollars and doubling to almost 3 billion Hong Kong dollars over the past 10 years. In terms of income, it's also growing very steadily, very nice. In terms of dividends, also increasing. The thing that I noticed is the payout ratio is getting high this year. So can it sustain? In my opinion, based on the payout ratio, based on the free cash flow that they are giving, it looks sustainable. The thing is this, because they are giving out such a high payout ratio, they may not be focusing a lot on growth anymore. Diving it a bit further, their growth rate still decent, not explosive growth, about 8 point something percent for the past 3 years average. So again, I feel that if they focus in Hong Kong, they may find a certain formula to expand in China. So this is a very stable company in my opinion, where in Hong Kong they can continue to grow, still give us dividends. At the same time, there's potential for China. So this is what I'm looking at. Profitability wise, one thing that I really like to look at recently is the net margin, about 5% to 7% of net margin. This is something, to me, it is not super fantastic. I have to say this out front. I prefer a double-digit net margin. And when I compare to the rest of the competitors, this is what I realized. Let me show you. Another fast food chain that I really like a lot is called YAMC, which is the Yam China Holdings Group. So for YAMC, they just got into China less than 10 years ago. Their net margin is also not fantastic, about 7 to 8%. So I realized that, oh, maybe the fast food restaurant chain, they have some challenging issues, because like in terms of rental, it's always growing, and this is the portion where, but one thing good is this, I'm always very concerned about the retail space because of e-commerce, but food is something that technically you can't really replace it. There's delivery services and like that, but you still need a place to eat, to cook, so you still need a certain area to like really have a front-face restaurant. Other competitors, we can see, I use Bread Talk as an example. Bread Talk is a Singapore restaurant for those who are not familiar. Net margin 4% to 2%. So in fact, when I look back at Fairwood, I guess their net margin is fair. Now, Cafe Decorer, their biggest competitor in Hong Kong, also growing steadily. Food is a place where it seems like it's a good business if you do it like in Hong Kong. You do it well, okay? I don't think that you can just open up a restaurant that easily. Net margin is much higher. You can see that 9%, okay, but it's dropping to even 5%. So in recent years, if you compare just recent results comparable to their competitor. And finally, Shabu Shabu, okay, net margin seems much higher, you know, it's like almost 10%. Maybe this is a company I'll study more into. I just dig out their financial, or rather their website, looks very interesting. And you can see the Shabu Shabu also goes to a certain slant of being healthy. So maybe this is the way forward of like positioning your food restaurant businesses. So coming back to Fairwood, few key things to highlight. Their interest coverage is 0. Why? When I dig in further, their debt to equity is also 0. So not much debt, very clean balance sheet, growing revenue, growing income statement, growing dividends. And it is at 5.18% in dividend yield. So overall, seems like a good investment to look at. Okay, so this is something that I find it's quite delicious, not just the stock, the food as well. So continue to keep a healthy diet, continue to keep a healthy investment, continue to invest wisely. Look at all these things around and understand what you're investing in. Just like you have to understand what you're really eating. So I'll see you next Friday for another Dividends Friday. This is one stock that I'll be collecting and munching and really enjoying it. Okay, so I'll see you next Friday. Okay, goodbye.